Alright, greetings guys. In the last video of my encrypted Gentoo base install, we got everything up and running for the most part. I did run into some issues in the last video, so I did, off screen, I did have to do the init ramfs. So it's going to be, so I had to do the gen kernel next, dash dash lvm dash dash lux and then init ramfs. So that's the only thing I had to do, and everything booted up just fine. So I was incorrect on me not needing a init ramfs. So that's the only down part, but we didn't have to use a generic kernel. So I did create it. We just needed a init ramfs. So one thing I also did off screen was create my user account. So to do that, all we had to do was, see if I could find it here, user add. So let me type this out. User add -m -g users capital G wheel audio and plug dev. Plug dev is for my network manager. So if you're gonna have network manager, you had to make sure that you did put your user in that category, -s bin bash, and then whatever the username, so my name, Mike. So, and then just added my password, and there we go. So I'm going to show you guys how to finish off your Gentoo install. So this is going to cover Xorg, sound, and I did ask what desktop environment I should be running. So some of you guys wanted me to do XFCE. I've ran XFCE and not a fan of it, but what I'll do is in the description below, I'll still put the what you need to get a XFCE install. So it may not show it, but at least in the description, they will have everything that you need. So there's a caveat. So I'm going to do Plasma or Mate. Actually, I'm probably going to do Plasma. So first things first is we need to get into our root. I'm going to put the time just so you guys can see how long one compile takes. So sudo. So we're just gonna emerge sudo very fast, and then we will continue on with the Xorg install and the sound. So this should not take too long. Again, my system has 2 cores with 4 threads, I believe. So it does a fairly good job. If I wasn't making a video and doing it through SSH, the last video and this one, it would get me everything that I needed for a Linux thing. Take about 4 hours, so less than a day to get everything up and running. So we're going to have 4 new just to get sudo, and then we will add sudo once this is done. So under the time, this will tell you guys how long this does take. So I will pause the video while this goes, and you'll see what the output looks like. So 1 second. Okay, so once that's done, real time, that took about 2 minutes and 1 second, so not too bad. So we're going to say vim etc suitors. So we are going to search for root down, YYP to paste that, CW to change word, and then your username. You want to say colon WQ exclamation mark, and now we should have everything that we need. Say sudo su, And there we go, we have sudo access. So in the last video I also installed EIX. So to make sure you have EIX, you're just going to say EIX -update. I can run that again. So what EIX does is it syncs the whole portage tree to your system so you can get instantaneous results instead of having to do a emerge, say S for search, Xorg. What this does is it goes all the way out, it searches the whole thing for it, and does that, which isn't bad. It tells you if what's installed and stuff, but if we do the same thing for EIX Xorg, it's a lot faster. Plus it will show you the input devices and it will show you some of the use flags that you could do. So what we're going to do for this one is I'm going to combine the the Xorg and the sound into one compile. So what we're going to say is emerge AV x11 base xorg -x11. So this is the meta file for the Xorg. This comes with a bunch of the stuff that you'll need for to get everything up and running. And then for sound, I'm going to take this down. I'm going to get up the web page, so 1 second. Okay, so this is coming from the ALSA wiki page on the Gentoo. So when you are making your kernel, you want to make sure that you have sound card support and everything built in, and the ls mod will tell you what you need. But pretty much we're just going to say EIX or ALSA utils, and we'll say pavview control and pulse audio. I think pulse audio will be brought in anyway because I have it in my global use flags. So we're just going to click yes, and then this will tell you everything that we'll need. Okay, so there's going to be 166 packages. So as you can see here, a lot of the Xorg drivers will be installed. So the ATI, if that's what the video cards is for, so it will read your make.conf, see the video cards, and it will tell you exactly what you needed to, what the Xorg needs to install. So I have an ATI card on that system, evdev, keyboard and mouse, and fonts. It's got everything. A lot of this stuff is for the Xorg meta package, so everything should be fine. I'm going to say no really fast, and we're going to go back, and we're going to put a time on here because I'm going to let this run overnight. This will take a couple of hours, and then I will pick up with this once this is done in the morning. So I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Okay guys, so it didn't take too long. Shortly after I went to bed, it actually probably finished. So it took about 81 minutes real time. So we're going to clear this out. So the next thing we need to do, now you could have done this step before during the encryption step. However, I wait until now just to make sure that everything does build, because if you're building, say, KDE or GNOME for like 3 hours and nothing builds, then you just wasted all that time compiling. So I like to do this step next. So the eSelect profile list. So what we want to get is right now we are on the stable 17.0. Now I have thought about it, and I might actually go with Mate. So this is going to be very similar to XFCE. So what I'm going to do is select number 16, the stable branch. So what we're going to do, clear that out again, E select, profile set 16. Now if we list that out again, you'll notice that our little asterisk is on the 16, which we want. So just go, so if you're going to do plasma, you would say 19, and then if you're going to do GNOME, you would say GNOME or GNOME with systemd. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to look up the Mate side of the Arch wiki, sorry, the Gentoo wiki. So what we're going to do is go here, mate, and then pretty much we're just going to follow what's under here. So there is the mate base, Kaja extensions, packages. So there should be it doesn't look like it. So there should be a meta package for it. I'm just taking a look here. Okay, so it just looks like you just need the basic base Mate. You know, I think I'm just gonna do XFCE. You know what? Heck with it. I have had this before on one of my other ones, so I'll just show it. So what we're going to do is say, clear that out, is emerge AV XFCE for meta. See what else we need here. A lot of this should come in with the meta file, so we don't really need to do much. Okay, so yeah, if we just do the meta file, everything should go in fine. I'm going to look at my system here just to see what it's called. It's Arc theme. I think it's just Arc theme. Okay, so say x11 dash themes Arc theme, and then let's just deal with that right now. We'll see what else comes with it, and then we'll decide if we need to add anything else. Okay, so let's take a look first what this all comes with. GNOME Extra, console kit, networking, Arc theme, notifications, X screensaver, okay, so that's really seems pretty fine. We do need Qt core. We're actually gonna say yes really fast. Now if we go to say cd Come on, Etsy portage, and then ls. So we need to make directory package dot accept underscore keywords, and we're going to go into that. We're going to say LSLA. Okay, so we're going to say Vim Etsy. I'm sorry, Vim. We'll say arc, and then all we need to do really is copy this. So do that. Enter. Now we're going to do one more thing. This is a little trick that I learned from Meshy. So if we do touch ZZ template. So what this does is if we do have to install something that needs a keyword change, it will go to the latest thing, to the latest package that we did. So it would be ZZ template. So if we say cat ZZ template, nothing's there. So the next thing, so what we would say is say yes. It will say that ZZ template needs to be updated. However, there will be a dot underscore C whatever it is, and then you can move that to whatever name you want to name it. So this is a nice simple way to manage your keywords and also your use flags. So we're going to go back and let's do that to the package.use. ls. Actually, go back and then package keywords. So if we do an lsla, you see this dot dot underscore cfg blah 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 blah. That is pretty much the arc theme that we put into the accept keywords. So that's what it does. So that's what will go straight into the ZZ template, and then we can move this file to whatever name we want. So cd package.use ls, so we'll say touch ZZ template. So if we didn't do this, the next thing it would look for would be the grub system. So that's why we want to make an empty one. So it'd be nice and simple. So now if we do this again, where are you? Okay, we're also going to add Qt browser Compton. Compton is for transparency. It could help with screen tearing and stuff like that. So yeah, and then I like to have Spotify. Let's do Spotify. Firefox-bin. That's the only bin, the only binary package that I install. So let's do that. Okay, so as you can see, the keyword changes and also the use changes. Okay, so I will actually not do Qt browser right now. I'll do that off screen. I think I showed how to install it in a previous video, but remind me if I haven't shown that at all yet. Okay, so this will need a keyword change. So if we say yes, so we're in the use. So if we go back into package accept keywords ls.la, It's not showing it. Oh, that's probably why, because I have the other one, so we'll say cd back rmr package keywords. Alright, let's do this again. So now this should go into the accept keywords one instead. So say yes. Now cd package accept keywords ls.la. There you are. So if we do a cat dot underscore c, you'll see everything that we need for Spotify. So now we can move dot underscore c to Spotify. And now if we go into that, and that's everything that we needed to do. So we'll exit out of there. Yeah, and that's everything that we needed to do. So now let's rerun this again. And everything should be working. Okay, so it's going to be 124 packages. Sorry, once again, I'm going to take this off and I'll put the time underneath it. So we'll hit enter. Oh, you know what? I just thought of some packages. So we'll say no one more time. Back up, zeesh, c-e-i-x, z shell. Alright, so we also want Gentoo underscore zeesh or dash completions. And then there's one more thing that we'll need to get, but I'll do that with inside the desktop environment. So now if we do this again, there should be more packages now. So there's 126 packages, so we are going to say yes. Let me see if I put the time on that. Yes, I did. So I will let this go and it should run, and I will be back in a few seconds. Alright guys, so I was finishing the video, and then when I went to go and edit the video, I noticed that I actually had no sound. So I did a bunch of stuff that I'm going to show you guys a little bit what I finished up. So the xfce install took about 50 minutes once I got it done. And then the next thing we're going to do is say emerge av layman. So I have this installed, obviously. So what you're going to do is there's going to be about 25 packages, and that shouldn't take too long with that. So excuse me. So once you're done with that, you're going to say layman dash capital L, and that should list everything out. Now if you okay, so you're going to actually have to do let's just go into sudo. Okay, so layman capital L. This should list all of the overlays that you need. And then if you have EIX, you're going to say EIX remote update. And this should update your EIX session, which also does the portage tree. And then this will sync all of the overlays that are available. So while that's working, what I did, so once you've done doing that, to search for something in an overlay, you're going to say EIX-R and we'll say Z shell. So what I had to do is install this. So I installed the 0.60, which is number 1. So to add overlay, You're going to say layman -a for any key. This will ask it's not an official if you want to continue, and we'll say yes. So once this is done, you have anything that's in this overlay. You can install. So to see what overlays you have, you're going to say layman -lowercase-l, and then you see that. So once you add the 4ny key, you can install the zshell syntax highlighting. And then to delete one, you're going to say layman -d for any key. Now, why I did this and did the syntax highlighting was because I'd never seen that update, and I used that when I was on Arch. So I just install it and then just get rid of it. Because the more overlays you have, it could potentially in the future cause issues for your base system. Because if there's a package that's in an overlay and it uses an older version of a program or a future program, it could mess up your system and you may have to start Gentoo all over again. So the next thing I did was pretty much copied over all my zshell rc file and also my xinitrc. So with the xinit, so vim xinitrc, what you're going to put down to get xfce to work is exec ck launch session dbus launch. So this whole line right here. So this is used for if you didn't have this and you plugged in a USB stick or say USB headphones, you won't be able to see them. You can just do a regular exec xfce4-session and be fine. If you're not going to use any of the like USB or any of the USB stuff, then you don't need to have this, but this does help with other stuff. So once that's done, yeah, you can reboot, and if we just do a start X, my xfce will be popping up. So I will show that in the next video. Again, sorry about the last part of this. I was very upset when I found out that I had no sound, so I do apologize for that. But in the next video, I will boot into my xfce4 and I will theme it a little bit, not too much. And yeah, we'll go on from there. So if you guys have any questions or any suggestions, please put them down in the comment below. If you guys want to chat with me, you can find me in 2 locations on IRC. There is the Linux Distro Community, which I will put in the description below, and also For the Nerds, which is one of the guys from the LDC created his own, and I recently joined it. So if you guys want to chat with me, go to either of those, and you can, give me, just talk with me. I've talked with a few of you guys already, so yeah, it's probably the best way of getting a hold of me. I am kind of trying to maybe think about doing a Discord server, but I don't know yet if there's more people who are interested in that. If they want to talk to me verbally, then I might do it if there's enough demand. But that's all I have in this video, and I will catch you guys later.